Hey, what's going on, guys? Tallboy Guns here. So, this here has actually been a video I've already kind of briefly done on the shorts section, but instead I'm going to put it on the video section, just because I didn't realize when I recorded it, it was in the shorts format. But with that being said, this is going to be kind of another unboxing of the 1911 TRP from Springfield Armory. And I'll kind of go through it and explain some things to you guys. So with that being said, here's the cable lock. I don't really ever use that. No one really does in the firearms community. So I'm just going to toss that to the side. Oh, just a Springfield thing. All right, move that to the side. With that being said, moving on here. That's the pamphlet, 1911. I'll go through that in a few minutes or a little later. But with that being said, you guys obviously came here for the gun itself. Now, I do have a 10-round magazine. Let me just show you that real quick. That I did get with this, but it didn't come with the gun. I had to buy it additionally, but it's a 10-rounder. So there's that one. But this did come with 3 8-round mech guard mags. So I've got 3 of these mags right here. So I'll toss that one to the side. With that being said, here's the gun itself. Mine did not come with the Streamlight TLR1 HLX. I bought that additionally with this firearm here. Make sure that it's completely, of course, unloaded, mags out. And I'm going to have to rack it, so just give me a second and I'll do that. Okay, it's completely clear. But with that being said, now I'm completely back. And I can, of course, showcase this to you and whatnot. So I kind of move these mags back over here. And then we can kind of get rolling. Now with that being said, let me kind of explain to you some of the ins and outs of this firearm here. Okay. So, like I said, this is the 1911 TRP. Stands for Tactical Response Pistol. It's from Springfield Armory. The MSRP on these, if you look it up online, is $1,999. But let me kind of go through some of these features and whatnot. That being said, you got the beaver tail safety. This is a enhanced beaver tail safety. This also has the VZ Hydra G10 grips on it. It's really rather kind of gritty feeling. Also has a thumb kind of groove to where I can access the mag release. And on this side, of course, it like I said, it's ambidextrous thumb safeties. That's the click sound, so you know it's it's got a nice positive sound to it. It's not too hard to click, but you definitely know when you either have it on and or off safe. It's got a skeletonized trigger as well as hammer. Now this comes with 3-dot tritium night sights, and of course I could showcase what these look like when they glow in the dark. So give me 1 second here. All right, so here's what they look like. Here's the 3-dot tritium night sights. So there's the dot in the front, and then there's the back 2 dots. And then, of course, obviously you'd line them up like you would any other firearm when you're aiming on your sights. But that's just what they look like in the dark when you're using it. So just to showcase that to you. Okay, now I'm back, and now with that being said, moving on to the next thing here. Like I said, the 3-dot tritium night sights, they work really good even, you know what I mean, during the day and whatnot. Obviously, they don't glow during the day, but like within the last clip I just showed you, that's what they look like when they glow in the dark. Now, this has front and back slide serrations on this firearm here, so you can easily, positively, of course, rack it from the back as well as from the front. something I've seen. A lot of different lower end 1911s don't necessarily come with the sometimes with the front ones, so you know what I mean, it'll be like flat in the front and only have the back slide serrations. But of course, this is, for example, long story short, Springfield Armory, they ended up getting a contract for the FBI, ended up winning that compared to a lot of the other gun companies previously in the past. But the FBI picked them up, and they made the FBI professional model. So this TRP here, like I said, stands for Tactical Response Pistol. This is the civilian production version of the FBI professional model. And I'd say for what it is, I mean, this is my first handgun as well as first 1911. May buy another 1911 later down the line. Maybe, of course, probably years from now. Having this one, I don't really have a need for another one. But I do love 1911s, and if I was to get another one, definitely probably get a stainless one. But I just saw this in person at a gun store at one point, and you know, originally I was going to get a stainless 1911, but instead saw this, and I was like, okay, yeah, I definitely got to get this. It's got the 3-slot Picatinny rail for lights, indoor lasers. Of course, like I said, I got a Streamlight TLR1 HLX on mine. It's got the strobe feature as well as the just normal on feature. That being said, this also has a 2-piece mag well for easy insertion of mags. And you know what I mean, like it's kind of angled, as you can see, to where if I take a mag and was to slide one in, it'd be easier than some, like I said, lower end 1911s that don't necessarily have that. And of course, the mags that I ended up getting also have base plates. And I've seen a lot of the cheaper 1911s that you purchase. You might only get 1 or 2 mags, for the most part, only 1. And they don't have the base plate like that. It's just like a completely kind of flat end to it without the base plate. So it's nice definitely having a base plate on your mags. And Guard does make some great mags. They are really kind of shiny and durable, and they get the job done for what they are. Like I said, these are only 8-round mags, but with 45 ACP, it gets the job done. This also has a polymer Gen 2 speed trigger. I don't think it's aluminum, or maybe it's polymer coated aluminum trigger, but either way, it's a very light trigger pull, of course. Didn't really have much take up at all by any means. And like I said, this is 45 ACP. You know, the 1911, obviously, if you're a firearms, you know, enjoying type of individual, you know what I mean, and you're decently, you know, educated with 1911s, they definitely won the world wars, and they're still rolling today. I know 9mm, of course, is kind of taken over. There's even, forgot to mention, Springfield's got these TRPs also chambered in 9mm, so if you didn't want a 45 ACP, you could easily get one in 9mm. This one, of course, is the 5-inch government kind of, you know, standard 5-inch barrel model, like the full size. But they do have a 4 1/4 model with a shorter barrel, and it's the 4 1/4 CC, so concealed carry variant, and it's kind of got like a bobbed end of your grip to where it's easier to fit in pockets and easier to be concealed and whatnot. But I wanted the full size experience, if that makes sense. I'm just trying to, of course, see if there's anything else I haven't. Forgot to also mention it has a flared ejection port. You know what I mean? So once shells are ejecting out of your gun, it's, you know, you don't really have any issues with hiccups or possible jams and whatnot. And of course, I guess just really depends on the ammo that you shoot through your gun and what, you know, type of ammo your gun likes. I haven't really tested too many other rounds. I've only shot Winchester white box standard range ammo through this. So, you know what I mean? I can't really say what this gun specifically likes, but for what this type of firearm is, I guarantee you it probably, you know, would eat and shoot all sorts of other brands. But it really just depends, like I said, and whatnot. I forgot to also mention, this specific 1911 has, the 20 lines per inch, checkering on the mainspring housing, as well as on the back here, but especially on the front, and it allows you to really get a nice firm grip on your gun, like a really nice grip, for what it is. And of course, I guess with that being said, firearms wise, you know what I mean, I can kind of move on just to a little bit of other things within this video. Just give me one extra moment. Just thought I'd give you a nice close-up quick here. It does have the Springfield Armory logo. Of course, on the other side of this firearm, it says TRP. And I'm going to flip that around right here. Showcase that to you. I'm trying not to hit the little switch on my flashlight, so it'll be kind of extremely bright. But yeah, it says TRP right there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I'm just trying to do my best to make sure you can. And of course, you know what I mean, also has the slide stop right there and whatnot. But this is one of my favorite handguns that I own. I do, like I said, have a Colt Python and whatnot. I've already done an unboxing on that one and whatnot. But for a revolver, that's definitely the Rolls Royce of revolvers. With that being said, kind of set that aside here. Okay, I'm here, so check me out here, boys. So with that being said, like I said, that's the 1911 little manual and whatnot, little pamphlet. So I was just gonna kind of pull some things out and see what we got here. Of course, that's one of the warning labels and whatnot. Yeah, make sure I'm getting that good. So it just shows warning and whatnot. It's just like, explaining to you the dangers of having a firearm and oh, that's just some little thing. Put that to the side. Alright, pretty people, we're moving on here. Alright, boys, so yeah, and then this is the warranty card, I guess, but I've already kind of activated mine, so I'm fine. Moving on. With that being said, I'm trying not to break that. I didn't realize that, because I've had this gun for a while, as you guys have already known. But, like I said, I was just doing a redo on the video. But I've had this, I tried to store this pretty decently within the box, you know, that it comes with over there. But I didn't realize it was kind of tearing a little bit. It's not tearing bad, but it definitely has got something going on where it's kind of breaking like that. But, let me see, there's one last thing. What is that? I believe there's just some stickers or something. They feel like stickers. Yeah, it's gotta be what it is. But with that being said, I'm just gonna move that to the side, like I said. Alright, boys. So, and here's the 1911 kind of manual. I didn't know if you guys wanted to see it. I wanted to kind of dive into it for you. And I just wanted to be upfront with you. If you guys are interested, obviously, in reading this, you know, I can, when I'm going through this manual or pamphlet, if there's anything that's in here, just make sure to, and I'll try to take a couple seconds for you guys to see it. But you can always pause the video and read what you see on there and whatnot. But with that being said, moving on to the next page here. 1 second, I'm sorry. Trying to make sure that I'm not missing something. Okay, moving on to this spot here. What I definitely can tell you, like I said, if you guys are looking for a either a first handgun or a 1911 in general, I'm telling you the TRP from Springfield Armory is one of the better handguns. Some people would say that, I guess, in their brain it could be, well, to me, I'd say it's more of a intermediate 1911. I wouldn't say that it's like a full-on pro 1911. I mean, it's obviously, of course, not a Nighthawk or a Les Bear, Ed Brown, you you know what I mean, or one of those custom shop guns. But for what it is, for a production 1911, it definitely gets the job done. It's an incredible handgun. I would recommend it to anyone that loves 1911s. And not to trash on any other companies, but there are some other companies out there that, of course, just don't do what Springfield does. So, you know what I mean? Springfield is definitely next level when it comes to their 1911. But yes, catalog, their catalog. So going through here. All right, next page. Like I said, I'm not trying to go too fast, but I don't want to go too slow either. But if you guys are wanting to look at this, then give you the opportunity to do so. Of course, there's always ways to look at, you know, things like this online if it really interests you that much, but I at least want to be thorough and give you the opportunity. I guess with that being said, if you guys are this far into the video here, make sure you guys put Springfield TRP in the comment section. And I'll know that you guys obviously are interested in sticking around long enough to check this out. Also, I want you guys to, in the comment section, to tell me after that, tell me if you guys have a 1911 of your own, what brand it is, and if you really enjoy it. And then also let me know if the TRP to you, just from watching this video, looks like something you may pick up sometime. And also don't forget to share this with your friends if they're gun lovers, just as much as the next person. Okay, so here's the next page, maybe on here. Okay, and then also, like I said, kind of just keeping it creeping here, if that makes any sense, and whatnot. Let me see here. Okay, here's that next one. Also, make sure you guys stay tuned for more. Like I said, I do have content, you know, kind of coming out and whatnot. I know it's been a little bit. I don't know actually when the next time I'll be shooting, going out and shooting the guns, but hopefully it'll be soon, and then I can you know, get some extra content out for you guys. I do have some ideas on future videos and whatnot. Now give me one quick second here. All right, party people, moving on here to the next one. All right, peeps, moving on to the next page here. Maybe you've already seen that one. I don't know for sure. I don't think so, but maybe it rolled back. So 1 second. Sorry about that. Okay, moving on here. Okay. There's a few things I forgot to mention about the 1911. I'm about to pull that back up and explain that real quick, and then whatnot. So just give me a few extra minutes, peeps. But yeah, like I said, just still scrolling through this for you, just to give you the option to check it out if you want. Okay. Moving on to that one. Okay. All right, peeps, moving on to the next page. forgot to mention I also do own a St. Victor from Springfield Armory. Chambered in 5.56. And that's pretty much it of this pamphlet here. Alright peeps, done with that pamphlet. But with that being said, back to the 1911, something I forgot to mention, that this is, like I said, a 5-inch government model, but it has a 1:16 twist rate for the barrel. The barrel twist rate. My Colt Python, for example, has a 1:14, but and then it has a 4.25 inch barrel. But this one is a, like I said, a 5-inch government model style barrel in terms of the length, and it's a 1:16 twist. Just forgot to mention that. Okay, so I forgot to mention, yes, the barrel has a nitride finish for anti-corrosion or corrosion resistance. But I also forgot to mention that it also has a, this 1911 has a 2-piece full-length guide rod for a lot more reliability. But, you know, some people do kind of debate in the comments, or, you know, as a general consensus in the firearms community about 1911s that, or the GI models without the 2-piece full-length guide rods. For me, it's hard to say. I don't have much experience other than just owning this said 1911. I never shot any other 1911 GI, you know, compared to this, but it might be a little easier to disassemble without one for cleaning and whatnot and maintenance. But I do hear a lot more reliability having a full-length guide rod. But with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video here today, make sure to hit that like, subscribe button. Don't forget to showcase this video with your friends and or family. And stay safe out there, like I said. And Tall Boy Guns out. Peace.